Alright, Thomas. There's been a report of a crash out on the main line, and we're out to investigate. Oh, really? Yes, sir. Thomas, why are you so afraid? Well, last night as I was heading to the shed, I saw a weird train coming right past me. Can you describe how it looked? Well, on the front it had a tank engine that looked like me, but it was silver with shorter tanks, and his back buffer beam was lowered to match his front. Its whistle was dark, and I could have sworn there were two red lights on the front of it. Was it pulling anything? I think so. Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was pulling two coaches. They were red. They're like the express coaches. Oh dear. Well, in that case, we better figure out what's happening. Rescue engine on the way. As Thomas and his driver made it through the forest, they saw there was warnings up ahead by Wellsworth Station. Warning, accident ahead, read the sign. All trains stop to pin down brakes and look out for the incident. Sounds like the crash has happened nearby, said Thomas. Yes, said the driver. We must go at once. So Thomas and Bob raced along the line to get to the crash site. Slowly, they started to climb the hill. The morning sun dazzled. Thomas puffed up the hill, pulling the works unit car with him all the way up. Then Thomas went on the downhill, flying downhill at full speed. Over the road bridge, past some buildings, and down the track straight to Marin Station. The signalman warned Thomas about it, so he was set onto the siding. They waited until all the track ahead was properly cleared. Then they were off again. Thomas, still shaking from the fear from last night, was still very worried about what was to come. Then, in shock, he looked as he made it across the second viaduct. He saw the incident ahead of him. Thomas applied his brakes. "Bust my boiler," said Thomas. "What a mess!" He looked over, and then he saw something that made his heart stop. "Well, I'll go back and fetch the cranes," said Thomas. But before he could do anything, Thomas was told he had to wait. Edward was already along the line to take them. Then Thomas looked to one side of the crash and saw something that made his heart stop. At the front of the derailed train was the tank engine that Thomas saw last night. It was silver, with red lining like Thomas, but with the number 0 on his side tank. He was also a version with shorter tanks than Thomas. With closer inspection, the crew realized who the engine was. It was Thomas's demon brother, Timothy. He had derailed himself at the sharp corner and killing a lot of the passengers. Luckily, everyone in the brake coach was alive, but were severely injured. Timothy, on the other hand, laid lifeless on the ground. As the daylight started to come over the horizon and the blue skies began to show, Thomas couldn't just take his eyes away from Timothy. He was in a stunned silence, not knowing what to say or hell what to do. He just sat there in shock. He thought to himself, "Rest in peace, Timothy. You were a noteworthy member of the railway, and we will forever remember you."